Hello everyone, Blaze here, and welcome to what is a very overdue April anime pickups. I'm on my iPod today. Basically, I broke my other camera. Uh, I dropped it while the lens was out. It landed flat face on the lens, and now the lens is broken. It doesn't come out. It's jammed, and I tried fixing it, but I can't. But anyway, whatever. So yeah, on the iPod for the foreseeable future. This is my first pickups for April. We have the complete trilogy of the Berserk movies, the Golden Age arc trilogy. I'm very happy to finally own these. It's taken me a while to get them solely because I ended up watching them online before Viz put them out, and because of that, I didn't have a really huge incentive to go and get them the second they came out. I sort of wanted to, but I just kept delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. And then finally, I decided enough is enough. I need to buy these because they're great movies. I really enjoyed them. I know a lot of people are mixed on them, that like, because obviously Berserk is quite a deep story and there's a lot going on in the Golden Age arc in particular, obviously, and in the anime series from back in the mid 90s, you obviously get a lot longer to tell that story. You get a lot more character building, and obviously these movies lack that. They tend to run at just under 80 minutes each. But honestly, it didn't really bother me. I think I just preferred the fact that this trilogy tells the story in like the major plot points of the story much more faithfully. It has a proper ending to this arc in the series, and I really hope that we eventually get a second set of trilogy, a second set of movies to carry on the story. That'd be great. Next, we have The Legend of Fee-Brain Puzzle of God. This is season 1, parts 1, part 2. The Sentai have already put out, because these are quite old releases now, they put out season 2 as well, and they have licensed season 3, but it seems to be taking a little bit longer to come out for some reason, since they licensed it back in like 2013. It's like one of the older things that they haven't put out yet. But anyway, really happy to have this because it's a survival game-esque type series, which I really enjoy. I just really like the tension in those sort of shows, and this I was initially put off by the character designs in this, and it just looked like it might be a little bit too shonen like. But then in the end, I kind of thought, well, do you know what? Even if it is like that, I don't really care. Like I still would really like to watch this series. I think it's something I would probably really like. I do tend to like mysteries, as in most of like the anime I've watched where that's been part of the major plot points where you're trying to figure something out. I've really found myself gripped to those sort of storylines. So even with the like more shonen style that this one has, rather than a greater mystery, it still looked like something that should be quite cool and good fun. So I decided to pick it up, and obviously it's dubbed as well. So yeah, got the first season and we'll watch it soon. Eventually get the second season, and when Sentai put out the third one, I'll get that too. Next up, we have the Legend of Legendary Heroes. This is the Funimation Blu-ray DVD combo limited edition set. Although, must be said, the art box that I have for this not in the greatest of condition because I got this dirt cheap. I picked up both parts in the art box for less than $20. So I'm not complaining. In the end, all I really wanted was the show, and even with a complete collection out there, buying it this way was way cheaper. And the art box, it's in it's in presentable condition. It's just got shelfware all over it. Unfortunately, I don't know what people do to their sets to get them in that sort of condition, but anyway. So yeah, here's the part one. Basically, this is something I put off or didn't even consider buying for a long time because basically I thought it was like an ecchi fantasy series, and I think I'm pretty sure I didn't actually double check before buying this, but I must confess, but I'm pretty sure it isn't like that. It is actually a proper fantasy series, as it looks from the back with magic and stuff. Like in the video V-roll going on the menu, it doesn't really. It's not emphasizing any ecchi stuff at all, fan service stuff, I guess. So yeah, I just thought, well, this would be kind of cool. I haven't heard too many great things about it, but I like fantasy series every now and then, like, or more than every now and then. I do quite enjoy them. So yeah, I decided to pick this up considering how dirt cheap it was. So yeah, something that certainly wasn't dirt cheap, but it's the end of a quite long journey, a long and expensive journey. This is Puella Magi Madoka Magica, the third movie called Rebellion. This is the limited edition release from Aniplex of America. Obviously, it was expensive, but I'm quite happy to have this in the collection because Madoka Magic is a pretty good series. I did really enjoy it the first time I watched it. I haven't gone back to it. I don't necessarily rate it quite as high as others do, but I do think it's a good series. I see. Yeah, it's a good series. I really do like the art box here. I try to kind of show you the design that Aniplex have done for it, but it's has this like this glittery effect that the other ones just don't have. They got like no this like matte finish, but this one's like a glossy glittery thing. It looks really cool, and the packaging. I mean, I'll give Aniplex stick quite often, but you can't deny the packaging is really nice. And yeah, this is dubbed obviously as well, and it completes the trilogy of movies. Obviously, the first two movies were just retellings, re-edits of the TV series. Although I did end up buying the movies as well, just because a part of me wanted to own the complete set. So yeah, I really like the cover on the soundtrack. I think that's really cool. It's a really cool image. But yeah, I haven't watched this yet. Obviously, this is a sequel to the TV series, so yeah, it's continues the story as it were, which is quite interesting given where the TV series finished. I'm not quite sure quite where it's going to go. I think it introduces a new magical girl as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this now completes the set. You've got the movie trilogy, which is in Blu-ray case, Blu-ray like size format, and then obviously you've got the TV series, which is in DVD size format. But yeah, all the limited editions. I got the first limited edition like right when it first came out, which is like what 2 or 3 years ago now. I think it might have been 2 years ago, or three actually. I think, but either way, yeah, it's been a long journey, and I'm glad it's over because it was expensive. And last but certainly not least is the long overdue pickup for me personally of Star Driver. These are the Bandai Blu-rays. I was able to get part two quite easily. Right Stuff is still selling it on Amazon and stuff, but part one was a little bit more difficult to find for a cheap price, but I was eventually able to do so, and I'm really glad I did. So yeah, this is the Bones Mecha series from like 2010 or 2009 or something that I'd long put off getting. I didn't pick it up when it first came out because it's subtitle only, and I was hoping that it might eventually get a dubbed release at some point, but that doesn't seem it was ever going to be the case. And I eventually, after all these years, decided, I really want to have Star Drive in my collection. I really want to see it. I'm a big fan of Bones Mecha. I really want to see it. So I eventually just went out and picked it up anyway, and I've since watched it already. My thoughts on it are generally positive. I think it's a good series, but it is not without its faults. The major faults of the series is it just doesn't quite make sense. Basically, there's all this stuff going on with like these robots that are underground as part of like this giant society, and it's that stuff is never really explained, not in a clear fashion. Like everything's very abstract. If there are any explanations going on, it's all done in a very abstract fashion. And it was quite confusing, but it still had a lot of what makes Bones Mecha series for me personally really good. But it's certainly the weakest of the ones I've watched so far. So yeah, that was my pickups for the first half of April. Second half of April will be pretty soon, hopefully, and then we're gonna jump straight into May. Yeah, and yeah, I'm on my iPod now, unfortunately, for filming for the foreseeable future. So I broke my camera, but I do have plans to buy a camcorder. I'm just gonna go out and buy a proper camera next time, but I need to plan that properly, and yeah. So anyway, that might have been my April anime pickups part one, and I'll see you soon.